going for a walk. Gonna go potty. Come on, go fast. Come on. Goodbye, Goose. Goodbye, Coda. See you later, guys.
Guess we're taking the truck out today. Alright guys, so we're gonna start our day off. Go walk the dog. We're in the truck right now. This is the tow rig. My 2001, 2002 GMC Sierra. It's just a 1500, but I've towed with these trucks before. They're not bad. Plan on getting a diesel later on after my fiance gets a race car, but I don't need a truck that can tow a double car trailer right now. Pretty much just gonna be a pretty easy day. I'm gonna get my hair cut today probably. I gotta go over to Trailer Craft, see if I can get some 7-way wiring for the truck, and then we're gonna go out to Chugiak, to my mom's house, and have dinner out there, and probably finish up the 7-way wiring if I haven't done it by then. But we'll see how the day works out. So I decided that now would probably be a good time to talk about just what I plan on doing with the channel and what you can expect to see and stuff like that. So basically, I'm using this as kind of like my daily life stuff, and mainly focus on my race car. But I actually have 2 cars. I haven't really talked about my GTR. I have a Pulsar. It's if you don't know, that's Nissan's 3-door hatchback SR20 all-wheel drive. It's a cool little car, but it's right-hand drive. It only came, or it didn't come to America, but it was in Japan and the UK and stuff like that. So, I haven't got around to actually working on that car yet. It needs piston rings or pistons, which is pretty sad because it'd be a cool little car to drive around in the winter, and that's supposed to be my daily driver. But right now I'm driving the truck because the car is down. A truck I just want to be strictly for towing. Of course, I can't drive the RX-7 because it is January in Alaska, and I don't want the car to be a snowplow. So Pulsar is pretty simple. It's got hardened gears, Nismo front and rear diffs. The transfer case is in the tranny in that car, so I don't know what's done to it. Most of the work done to this car was from the previous owner. I put ARP head studs in it. I put a Cometic 51mm or 25mm gasket in it. It's got an SR20 VE head on it with an SR20 DET block with a T4 turbo. I'm gonna rebuild the turbo because I'm pretty sure it's blown too. The guy before me put 38 pounds of boost through that pretty much stock motor, but I say stock. It has rods done. It has lifters and valve springs, but being it's pretty much a bone stock SR20, it still has its issues. 38 pounds of boost through it on 105 octane, so we had to get the head decked. It only took like 5 thousandths off of it. I'm gonna check the block when I pull it apart, but the RX-7 I put a lot of time into. I did all the work to that myself. I got it pretty much bone stock, and last May I got into my new place, and we immediately started going to work on it. A couple buddies were coming over per day, or if it was just me, but we were knocking something out every night. So I ordered all my parts for the car around April-ish, so they were kind of there right when the car got done, or when the car got to my house. I had the roll cage done, and after that was done, it got sent. I picked it up and on a tow truck because it was almost, or no, I didn't have my taillights yet. So I didn't have my taillights, and I couldn't drive the car back. So we picked it up on a tow truck, which is sad because that's... right, the GoPro fell over. I think I have it in the right spot still. I guess you can't go through roundabouts with the GoPro on, it'll fall over. So, got all the parts there to my house after, I think it was like May 15th-ish or something. It was right near the beginning of the season. And I started going to work on it every single day. I got the tires mounted to the wheels. That took 3 guys to do. My dad's never done stretch tires before. All right, I got it in a different spot now. Hopefully this time it's not going to fall down. So the front tires are 18 by 11 and I have a 245/35 on that. And I have 265/35s on the back. That's a 12 wide. So I'd never stretched tires. I have a couple buddies who have before, but this was new to me. And it took a few hours to do. I'm not proud of it, but now that I know how to do it, it's a lot easier. So the wheels got on, tires got on, kind of just left it for sitting for, those wheels sat there for I think 2, maybe 3 weeks, just sitting there doing nothing because there wasn't anything I could do. Oh, I didn't really know how to get the wide body on. I have the Blake Olson 100mm and 90mm over fenders, and that's 90mm each side and 100mm each side, front and back. So it's not, you know, 50/50 and 45/45. That ain't wide enough, I'll tell you that much. So I end up riveting those on, but I was waiting for my kit to show up so I knew how everything would line up, so I didn't put it in the wrong spot. And I needed to cut out my fender wells. So I got the fenders on there. I got the kit mounted up with some riv nuts that I thought it looked pretty good. I end up doing all my hardware on the outside. That way it was easy to take off, just because Alaska has such bad roads, and I was not trying to, like, if I knew I was gonna go somewhere that had terrible, like, driving conditions, like on the way out to Palmer. On the way out to one of the main events of the season, there are frost heaves that are so deep that even with the bumper off, I still would have scraped all the way almost down to, like, my control arms. It was bad. So I found out a different way to get around that, but now I can drive out there with the bumpers on. However, I got the kit on, I got the wing on, I got the over fenders, I got the suspension on. I had everything done to the car that I needed to get done. We have the PBM competition 8K or 10K, 8K spring rates on the coilovers. I have PB's camber arm link in the back. I have their full angle kit that they have for the FC. The lower control arms, the extended lower control arms, the short knuckles, the rack spacers, all of it. And so by now everything's on the car. Everything's ready for the car. Nothing's wrapped, and I've never wrapped before, so I'm pretty nervous, and I don't want to mess it up because I only had bought 30 feet at the time, and I figured since the car was smaller that I was going to be like 5, maybe 10 feet off of where exactly I needed to be to wrap this car perfect the first time. Turns out, if you've never done it before, it's really hard, and you need more. So what ended up happening is I kept trying to go different directions with the wrap, and unless you're really good, you can't do that. You have to go 2 directions and they have to be the same. So I'd start at the top of a panel and I'd work my way down and right or down and left. Or I'd start at the bottom for some reason, and that was harder. I would go up and right or up and left, but you can't go up and down because that leaves a big air pocket in the middle. And you end up doing what I did and wasting 5 feet of wrap on your door because you did it wrong. So I had enough to get everything but the bumpers done, And I was okay with that because I still had to go to Palmer. I didn't want to hurt the bumpers too bad. Before I wrapped my bumpers, my front bumper was so beat up from these roads that I'm lifting the car actually a little bit in the front. I'm doing that anyways for drift spot, but it's also going to help with my bumpers, so I might be able to run them at the first event of the season. So by now the car is wrapped. I have pretty much everything but the hydro in it, and I have like my adjustable tow rods that I showed you guys in the last video that I haven't put on yet. But I had pretty much everything for phase 1 of the car in the car. And I had the hood pretty much set up to go on. And then I thought, my new motor is gonna have a V-mount. It's gonna push my core support forward. And I'm not gonna be able to mount to that. I'm not drilling multiple holes in my hood. So I had to wait. So for the first summer, I drove around, no hood. Didn't give me any issues at all, like water or anything. So if it was heavy rain, and I'd go out and throw a tarp on it or something if it was outside. But I drifted in the rain multiple times. There's nothing wrong. People were like, "You're crazy. Your car's blocked." Like, they make them from the factory so you can get it wet. It's not. You're not gonna have a perfect seal. It's a car from '88. Like, really? So. Got a lot of hate for that, driving around with no hood. A couple friends drive around with no hoods. They don't care. Nobody cares around here. So I have the carbon fiber D-Max hood. It fits great. It's just I need to wait for my intercooler to get on, which I'm really excited. In the last video, you saw the carbon fiber D-Max hood. It looks really nice. I like the way that it's the weave looks. It matches my BCL carbon fiber wing. And I don't remember what the brand is, but I have the carbon roof spoiler too. The weaves are pretty similar, so it's not like throwing it off like if I did Cybon and Carbon Creations. That makes me mad when there's different like styles of weave going in and it looks off. But so phase 2 of the build. So we'll start that after I try to get this trailer wiring figured out. Alright, so just finished up on the trailer wiring, or the 7-way wiring for my truck. I'm gonna go grab some lunch. Alright guys, we're back. So, phase 2 of the build. So, I, last April-ish, was looking at building a 13B Roo, sorry. I'm gonna get slaughtered for that. Out of an FD to put into my car. And originally I was thinking, you know, I want to go fast. I want 650 horsepower. 650 in a 2,600 pound car is a lot of power, and that's going to move that car pretty good. And I'm thinking, you know, the FC Trans, if you treat it right and it's refreshed, it can hold 650 pretty easily. The diff will hold it for sure. I'm just going to build the REW and call it a day. But then I was like, I want a spool, so I should go with the Ronin 8.8. So that's what I did. And I got the 8.8, and I was like, well, is the Terrain gonna hold if we push more power later on? Because, you know, everyone with Project Car knows you can't have enough power until your car fully scares you a wide open throttle. And even then, it's like, is it ever gonna be really fast enough? And that's how it's played out. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I should build a crazy 2-rotor and do billet plates and shoot for 1,000 horsepower on a semi-peripheral port. And that was the plan. So I got the billet plates ordered, and then they took way too long to send them to me. Like, I waited months for those plates to even get shipped, and they never did. And I was like, I canceled my order. I was like, you know, I can't do this, and I can't make 1,000 horsepower without them. I don't want to wait. So I got a 3-rotor. So I ordered a C-Code 3-rotor, and that got over to Mike at RPM shop. Maybe 3 weeks later it was there. Had it cleaned up, sent the housings out to get the semi-peripheral port done to him, and then he started porting the irons. We got a large street port, and everything was good from there, but then we had to get the rotors shipped out. And the rotors got shipped out to a company that had them for a long time, entirely too long. It was supposed to be a month turnaround. Get there, get done, get back all in a month. Never happened. And I was furious because I spent a lot of money on just getting those rotors balanced and clearanced and the E-shaft, you know, the whole 9 done. So I would be able to, you know, rev up to 10 grand and the motor not care. Like, the red line on this motor is supposed to be 11,000 RPM, so I can have my 2-step set at 10K and be fine. And I waited for months and nothing happened. So I get a call back the other day, and my rotors were damaged and they finally got shipped back. So 2 out of 3 of them got hurt. So now I'm looking for 2 more rotors, and it's stupid. I can't believe that it happened, but stuff like this does happen, and you just gotta eat it and then, you know, roll with the punches. So the rotors, we're waiting on some new ones. They have to get clearance by a guy that's local to him, so he can make sure that there's not gonna be any damage to them. Got a custom T6 big runner manifold. So it's a T6 turbo, and it's got really big intake runners coming, or sorry, exhaust runners coming off the manifold. 2 44mm wastegates. I think they're tile. I don't remember what I bought, but the turbo. The turbo is a four-corner S480. It's got a billet wheel in it. It's gonna spool pretty fast, and everyone is kind of like, that's way too big of a turbo for a rotary. It's only a 2-liter. They don't realize that you get rotaries registered across, like, out of the states. If you get them registered in, like, UK, you have to do 3 times the literage that it is for the fuel consumption and the air consumption that it actually takes in, because it does a lot more strokes than a piston does. So it's pretty much the equivalent of a 6-liter. That's an 80mm turbo on a LQ9 6-liter Chevy motor is going to make a lot of power and do it pretty easily. And people that don't understand rotary sit there and kind of chuckle at it. But so an S480, huge turbo, stock intake, that's semi-peripheral port machine, I guess. I don't know what to call it. I'm drawing a blank right now. You're being loud. We have 9 200cc injectors, and the base tune and kind of like the drive around tune is going to be on 90 octane. That's the best we have in here in Alaska. It sucks really bad, but I have 2 barrels of VPX98, and that ethanol is going to make that motor scream. I'm hoping for about 1,000 to the wheels on the ethanol and around 600 to 700 on 90. So that should be pretty fun. Behind that, we picked up, I don't remember who it was from. He had a guy down there in New Jersey or New York near him that had a adapter plate for a rotary and a G-Force TR6060 dog box. It's not a full dog box, only 1 through 4, but 5th and 6th is regular, and they're either hardened or I'm not quite sure. 5th and 6th don't need to be crazy, you know. It's 5th and 6th year. The car's not going to do 200 miles an hour. It could if it had the right gearing, but it's a close ratio gear set in there. 1st through 4th are dog ring gears. Custom drive shaft to go from the TR6060 to the 8.8, and the 8.8 is the Ronin kit, and that has a, I don't remember who made the spool, but it has a 456 spool in it, so it'll be perfect for drifting. And you know, spools aren't that expensive, so if I do want to change it up later on, I can, and not really have to worry about it. So I can get, you know, a more aggressive one, or you know, one more towards speed oriented if for some reason I need that. But phase 2 of the build is gonna be good. I'm really excited for it. It's not something many people have done up here, and 1,000 horsepower has been seen up here, but not by many. You you don't have many street cars up here that are pushing around 1,000. There is a Mustang doing it. There are almost 2 Mustangs doing it. They're for sure around 900. There's an F100 doing it, and you know, that's all for sure that I know of that actually make 1,000 to the wheels. It's not uncharted territory, but you're not hearing about every other car like Texas making, you know, 1,000 horsepower here or 1,000 horsepower there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good street car. It's going to be a good drift car, and that's pretty much it. You know, it's a simple setup, but it's pretty extreme, so I'm excited for it. I'll end up doing a build video when I go to put everything in, but for now it's kind of just an update of where it's sitting at and what I was doing with my day. So